everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Amanda, and if it's your first time here, I am currently pregnant with our first child. So I just wanted to record all of my week by week pregnancy updates just so I have something to look back on and to see if anybody else has similar symptoms. And I previously done a 0 to 4 week update, and that was pretty normal. I felt like I didn't feel like I was pregnant at all. It was so early on, but definitely in this update, I'm going to talk about 5 to 8 weeks, and things drastically changed. So at 5 weeks, I was pretty much the same as, 0 to 4 weeks. I didn't really have many symptoms. I wasn't nauseous, I didn't feel pregnant, I wasn't tired, nothing crazy. My boobs were a little bit sore and my nipples were a little tender, but other than that, I felt pretty normal. I was a little bit more emotional than I normally am. My sister had to drop her 5-month-old baby off at daycare for the first time, and she sent me a pic while she was dropping him off, and I just I was like, oh my god, he's so cute. She must be like so upset to have to leave her baby, and I started tearing up, and I never cry, so that was kind of strange. But I was finally starting to get my appetite back during week 5. So previously, I think it was week 4 that I just didn't feel like eating anything. Nothing sounded good, and I actually lost a pound. But then in week 5, I started getting some more cravings, and I was hungrier. I was craving ice cold lemon water, which was really interesting. In the first thing in the morning, that's all I wanted. And then I was also having sweets cravings. I really wanted ice cream, and I'm not a huge ice cream person. I usually prefer cupcakes or something like that, but I was craving ice cream, and I was also obsessed with making my own iced coffee. I was making decaf, obviously, but I would go to bed thinking about having this iced coffee, and then wake up and just savor every single bit of it. It's so good. And I put I think it's, I forget the brand, but it's this vanilla coconut almond milk in it. Oh my god, it's so delicious. And I just use Dunkin' decaf or something. So week 5, totally pretty normal for the most part. Moving into week 6, that's when I started feeling a little bit nauseous. It wasn't really bad, to where I was throwing up or anything, but it just kind of felt like my stomach was unsettled, and it was mainly in the morning. By noon, I felt back to normal. And I started to have serious cravings during week 6 too. So I was just craving fast food, Chipotle, McDonald's, Burger King, pizza, all the things that I would treat myself with. I wanted every day, and I didn't really control that at all. I was whatever, I'm pregnant, I'm having it. So I went to McDonald's and I got a McDouble and a McChicken and fries, and yeah, it happened more than once. But I was also starting to feel a little bit more tired than normal, and just sluggish and not really motivated. And I just had no desire to work out. And prior to being pregnant, I was doing HIIT workouts at least 4 to 5 times a week, pretty intense workouts, resistance workouts, strength training workouts, lots of HIIT cardio, and week 6, I was just nah, I can't. I just want to sit on the couch and watch TV and Netflix, and that was pretty much it. But it wasn't too bad starting then. I felt no connection with the baby. I still didn't really, I don't know, I feel like I didn't really feel pregnant at all or whatever. Oh, and one last thing about week 6 was that we went for my second appointment with my OB. The first one was at I guess in my previous video, I think I went at 4 weeks and 3 days or something, just because I was in a new area. But I went back at 6 weeks, and we saw the heartbeat, which was so sweet. I think it was 120 beats per minute or something, but we were so excited. That was just a huge monumental moment, just like, oh my gosh, you can now like breathe a sigh of relief because you heard the heartbeat, and it made everything very real. So I will actually insert a clip here from that appointment. It's just a short, I think it's like a 2-minute video of us looking at the ultrasound and hearing the heartbeat. So enjoy.
See if I can make it really loud for you. I can see a beautiful heartbeat.
Oh, good.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's just so tiny, it's hard to
yeah.
make a sound or this real.
Oh my god.
God.
It's alive.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
It's perfect.
Oh.
And that's a really good heartbeat too. It looks like it's about 100.
So week 7 came, and I told my family and our closest friends, and then the worst nausea symptoms ever started to kick in. And I was actually traveling from, we live in Houston, but I was traveling back to New York for work, and oh my God, that flight was just, it was really, really bad. I was exhausted. I felt so nauseous. I didn't want to eat anything. I couldn't eat anything. Everything like made me want to vomit, and it was just like really, really terrible. I basically felt useless. Like after I had my work meetings and I got back to Houston, I was just like so unmotivated, useless, laying on the couch, you know, when I wasn't working, and I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go out to dinner. I didn't want to take a walk. I didn't want to like do anything. I was just like a hermit. I felt really awful. I started having really weird food aversions, and not just like the typical ones, like seafood really made me gag. Vegetables really made me gag. But even like the color of packages of food, like anything that was orange or yellow, like we have this bag of chips, and it was like orange and yellow on the outside. It was like a bag of tortilla chips, and I literally couldn't look at it because it made me want to throw up. And I don't know if that's strange. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but I don't know. It was weird. I also, like I was saying last week, in the 6th week, I was obsessed with like lemon stuff and like iced lemon water, and I was still having the same kind of cravings for that. Anything lemon flavored, like those Think Thin, I think they're like protein bars or something. I was craving them. Anything lemon flavored, I just wanted. I was also craving iced tea and seltzer with lemon. It just like, I wasn't craving like tons of things. In terms of food, I was having more aversions than cravings in this week, but it's really interesting. I don't know, I was like really liking drinks more than food. I was having a hard time like keeping things down. The only thing that sounded good was like cheeseburgers, and before I was pregnant, I rarely ate meat, like especially red meat. I would never get burgers. I didn't really eat a lot of chicken. I mostly ate kind of vegetarian. I would eat, you know, eggs and stuff like that. But this week, like when I wasn't feeling so nauseous and feeling like I could eat something, I just wanted like McDonald's McDoubles. Like that's all I wanted, and that was really weird for me. So maybe it had to do with like a deficiency of some sort. I always try to think like, if I'm craving something, what does this mean? Am I think deficient in iron because I'm not getting a lot of that from meat because I hadn't been eating a lot of it. So I don't know. So that was really it for week 7. I just can't, the nausea was just, it was so bad. I would dread waking up in the morning because I knew how sick I was gonna feel, and then I was, and just like really, really tired as well. But I was eating saltines a lot, and then just really bland stuff like cereal and toast. And then, you know, I would splurge and go to like Chick-fil-A or McDonald's when I was feeling good and eat like crap. So that wasn't great. Okay, so moving on to week 8, I had actually gained a pound. So over the first 8 weeks, I only gained about a pound. Before I was pregnant, I was between like 116, 117, and around the 8-week mark, I was like 118.8 or something like that. So between like 1 and 2 pounds. Mainly because I wasn't eating a ton, I wasn't eating regularly, and I was feeling sick. But I was still feeling very nauseous, and I started drinking this ginger tea in the morning, which actually helped a lot. And I hadn't worked out in like 2 weeks, so I was trying to do at least like some walking or like a light resistance workout with light weights or like Pilates. But over week like 7 and 8, I did absolutely nothing. I was so exhausted and so nauseous that I just, when you feel sick to your stomach, you can't work out. It's just like nothing feels good. I had started feeling really bad about all the junk food and the fast food that I was eating. And I don't know, that coupled with like not really sleeping great. I was waking up a lot and having to go to the bathroom a lot, so my sleep wasn't good. And I just like, my body felt really bad because I haven't had any like fruits or veggies. Those, I just felt really sick every time I thought about eating vegetables. And like fruit, I'm not a big fruit fan anyway, and so I wasn't eating any of that either. I started feeling crampy in like my lower abdomen around week 8, and I think that was because my uterus is expanding, and that's also why I had to pee so much, like especially during the night. During the day, I was drinking a ton of water, so I was peeing a lot before I was pregnant because I drank a lot of water, and so that still continued. I started breaking out pretty bad, like along my forehead, my hairline, these just like under the skin kind of pimples, which are the worst because like you can't pop them and they just like stand out, and it was really bad. And I just felt like really, really ugly. Between like week 6 and 7, I didn't feel good. I felt ugly, like even when I would put makeup on. I think I said this in my previous video, but just like didn't feel great at all. And then towards the end of week 8, the fatigue, like extreme fatigue, started to set in. And I was napping like, so sometimes I work from home, and when I would be done with work at like 4:30, I work on East Coast hours. So at like from 4:30 to 6:30 every single day, I was taking like a 2-hour nap. And I'm usually not a napper, but I don't know, I couldn't get off the couch. It was so bad. And just like the nausea, the morning sickness, which actually, it wasn't so bad that I was throwing up. It was more just like from the minute I woke up in the morning until around 2 o'clock, I just felt really unsettled in my stomach and like I was gonna throw up, but I didn't. I think there was only a couple times where in the morning I felt like I was gonna throw up, and it was just like dry heaving. But that's really it for 5 to 8 weeks. I'm further along than that now, and I have to say that those 4 weeks were the absolute worst I've ever felt. Like, especially like the nausea was pretty bad, but the fatigue that I started feeling in week 8 is a type of feeling that I've never felt before. Like, I've always had tons of energy. I've never been a napper. I've always, like got up and gone and, excited about working out, and just like the lack of motivation was really crazy. And the fact that I wasn't eating any fruits or vegetables, which I typically love. Like, I would have a salad, for lunch or dinner at least 4 to 5 times a week before I was pregnant. And so like, I think my body is just completely changing. Definitely more emotional than normal. But yeah, so those were the first trimester. They're not kidding. It doesn't feel great. And like, the nausea was so bad that I had started feeling like I was gonna have a girl. just because like my sister, she had a boy, and like another friend had a boy, and they had great pregnancies. They didn't get sick, they had energy. And so I was like, huh, if my sister is having a boy and she felt awesome and didn't have any of these symptoms, like maybe I'm having a girl. But who knows? So that's really it. If you've had like any similar symptoms or a similar experience or completely different, let me know. I'd love to hear. I'd love to, you know, share with you my journey and hear how everybody else's pregnancy journey is going. So thank you so much for watching. I will be back with the next, I guess, 9, 10, 11, 12, 9 to 12 week update. Yeah, I can't count. Pregnancy brain, I guess, the real thing too. I'll be back with that soon. So take care. Love you guys. Bye.